But the big news, the stunner, as far as LaHaye is concerned, came in qualifying when in this heat, in this humidity, he set the world record for the quarter mile. He was surprised.
I feel just fine. I mean, in the heat of the day and all this humidity, it's amazing, Steve. It's like I've told you before. I mean, what a year we're having, you know, with the Miller American car and Larry Minor. It's just...
That white car, the Texan, in the far lane. As they come off the line, suddenly the front of the car came up in the air. Eddie Hill kept it up and then lowered it down very gently. The two of them, whenever they face one another, are really ready to race. But in this particular situation, Shirley got away just a bit late and lit the tires to let a one. Gwen, the far lane.
And what a contrast. Gwen, the most contemporary car out here. Frank Bradley, an old car, but does it ever leave the starting line?
And one great race here as Bradley left the starting line early, but then Gwen was able to drive him down in the last part of the quarter with a 5:38.264.
Trans Am in the far lane. Tony Christian versus Bruce Allen. And away first is Christian with the wheels in the air. This is a real dogfight. They are side by side. This is what the fans love about Prost. Paul, I couldn't call it, but the electronic finish line does. Near lane, Bruce Allen, they were 1/100th of a second apart, 761 to 762.
Just the wink of an eye as the front wheels come off a little bit higher on Christian's car. They both run side by side all the way through the quarter mile, but then at the far end, it was Bruce Allen by a mere 100th of a second. So Bruce Allen moves ahead.
Right, because you've got to make 3 gear changes. These are 4-speed transmissions in these cars. Carrying the front wheels right off the mark. Jerry Ekman in the near lane with a slight advantage mid-track. Reed Wisnett trying to close, but he comes up short. It is at 7:57 to a close 7.63 seconds.
The two facing one another very early on. Leal got away first, but Bob Glidden was able to drive him down. Glidden won, and Leal was out of action.
Interesting here, Paul. Jerry Haas is the man who built Bob Glidden's Thunderbird. He's from St. Louis, and he was drafted to drive this car. Pete Smith was supposed to be at the wheel. He fell ill during qualifying, so Haas is a fill-in. That is the IROC Camaro, the blue car in the far lane. Off the mark, first is Jerry Haas. Paul, he has cut a perfect light. A man with very little driving experience. He's ahead of Glidden, and he beats Bob Glidden. The crew is in shock for that car. Just incredible. The whole shot did it because he ran a slower lapse time.
An unbelievable upset at the Summer Nationals. Now in the far lane, that is Haas. And the green light winked on, and 0.003 of a second later, Haas was gone. And that picture there is what we call a hole shot. Bob Glidden did everything he could to drive Haas down. But it was an incredible upset. Jerry Haas with a 767, 181 miles an hour. Well, how hot is it here in New Jersey? We're in Darrell Gwynn's pit, and when was the last time you saw a professional drag race mechanic work on the machine while enjoying a popsicle?
You know, famous drivers like Don the Snake Verdome have people stopping by their pits all the time, wanting them to promote their product. Well, the fellow who came by offering the use or the loan of the Move and Cool machine here, he got no rejection whatsoever. It's a refrigeration unit that plugs into 110 and blows ice-cold air through this huge ducting to anywhere they want it, to the clutch, to the engine, to the tools, to their faces. And Paul, I'll tell you, it's particularly effective on announcers. Oh, eat your heart out, Paige. Thanks, Snake.
Sure, feels good.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, real good, Steve. I appreciate that.
Over a week ago, Paul was racing in England, and here he is against Don Verdome. They leave right together. Boy, we have got another classic side-by-side drag race. It is the man who drives for that crew, Don Verdome, getting the victory, 577 to a 579.
Paul Candy stands just behind and watches as Mark Oswald comes off the line, pours the power on, and Mark Oswald, there's Candies. He knows he has a winner, and Mark Oswald with a, get this, 5:52. What incredibly quick ET, the fastest of the meet, and a new track record here at Englishtown.
You'll remember I said at the top of the show that the pack was closing in on Kenny Bernstein. Well, this man, Mark Oswald, has just exceeded anything Bernstein has done at this event. Low elapsed time, period, 5:52.
Yeah, it's been getting better all week. You know, this is one of the few weekends where every run we've made has been better. You know, we're just kind of seeing what the track would give us, and that's probably going to be about it.
The car looked like it was an animal to drive.
Yeah, it started to get loose out there, so that tells you it's right on the edge.
That's the quickest man. This is the fastest car. With Mike Dunn at the wheel, this machine ran in qualifying over 270 miles an hour. That's only the second time in history that's been done.
There is Joe Amato,
the World Championship points leader. And in the near lane, the man who is his #1 challenger, Dick LaHaye, trying to win 4 national events in a row. It has never been done. They move forward. LaHaye finally moves up to the starting line, and they're away. Joe Amato with the wheels in the air. LaHaye suddenly loses traction. LaHaye felt that, got off the throttle, and could not recover in time. Jerry Amato celebrating this victory as Joe wins at last to stage. There, he's finally in. RPM's up, and they leave the line side by side. And it looks like we've got another typically close pro stock contest. It is Bruce Allen for Chevrolet in the near lane.
So Bruce Allen, now there's been a tremendous lightning storm in the area. Rain moving by on both sides of the racetrack. And as a result, we've lost our camera down at the far end as we're ready for the Pro Stock Finals.
That's Bruce Allen in the far lane. Jerry Ekman will be in the near lane. They are both Chevrolet Camaros. Chevrolet cannot lose this one. They are side by side as they approach the quarter-mile mark. The race goes to Ekman for the first time ever. He wins in national competition.
Jerry Ekman with a 750 to a losing 755 for Bruce Allen. The winning speed is Oswald and Bernstein. Oswald the near side, Bernstein to the far side. They both are staged and ready. The green light flashes on, and now we have one very tight race. Oswald pulls on the power, but Paul Candice saw the win light go to the other lane of Kenny Bernstein. He also may have seen an early parachute, which could have controlled the win. There are 2 reasons why Bernstein won this race. There's the first, as Bernstein gets the hole shot, comes out first. Then Oswald is really matching Bernstein down the strip. But as they come to the finish line, watch the car in the near lane. That is Oswald. They're neck and neck. Oswald is actually winning, but he pulled the parachute too early, and Bernstein won.
Seldom have I seen Kenny Bernstein this excited after a win, and it's because, I think anyway, they put so much pressure on him today. It was not an easy victory, Kenny.
Oh, man, I'm proud of these guys. They worked so hard. Charlie, Dale, Mike, Jeff, Jim, all day, 2 in the morning, and then we got him in the final.
This one was Ken's.
Let me give you the number. Let me give you the numbers, okay? You ran a 56, he ran a 53, and you nailed him.
Hey, Armstrong has given me so much room in this crew for 2 years. I owed him this one.
And this one went right down to the final inches.
Hey, Oswald and Candice and Hughes, class act, excellent racers. We always have war. I said it was World War III. It may be World War 23, because every time we race them, it's a war. They're great people.
And you, my man, are a great racer yourself.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Kenny Bernstein. Oh, I've never seen him quite like this.
And with that win, Kenny Bernstein stretches his points lead in the World Funny Car title.
He's in the near lane. The far lane is Joe Amato. Amato has lane choice, has selected that far lane. A beautiful start by both drivers, and a power wheel stand for Joe Amato. Then the supercharger explodes. You can see the damage to the front end as that car pounded down. Gary Ormsby is the Summernationals champion at 5.34 seconds.
And Joe Amato slides to a stop. Fortunately, the car is safe, but it was one very scary moment. Watch the car in the far lane. They both move together. Ormsby actually leading Amato. And then suddenly the front wheel begins to rise like a 747 going for the sky. As the wheels come back on the ground, the back end bounces, and kaboom, the blower lets go. Watching it from a different angle, look how high these front wheels get up into the air. A scary, scary moment for Joe Amato, but he controls the power and tries to get the front as carefully as he can to the ground. Then the blower lets go. But Joe Amato, fortunately, is okay, and Gary Ormsby is our new winner.
Well, there'll be joy in Roseville, California tonight. Gary Ormsby, Summernationals champion.
Oh, thank you, Steve. We're going to be a party tonight. It's been a long time, buddy. I never thought I'd win none of these again.
Did you hear the boom in the other lane?
I saw it go up in the air. Looked like he did a wheel spin, yeah. Yeah.
And then apparently a blower explosion. We heard the concussion down here. You ran a 5.34. Good.
Yeah, well, we stepped her up a little bit for that. We knew we had to step up.
You know, between the semifinals and the final, in fact, between the time you left your pit and the starting line, the temperature dropped 25 degrees. That changes these things a lot.
That definitely helped, too, but we had everything in the tank, and we put some weight on the clutch. We did it all for the final this time.
You didn't make any changes when it cooled off like this?
No, we just kept everything we could put in it.
Obviously, it was the right thing to do. Your second NHRA victory again. Congratulations from Sports World.
Thank you very much.
Could the change in weather have affected that engine?
No, we adjusted a little bit because it did cool off. You know, we try to, you know, compensate for the weather changes and the track conditions. It just came out of nowhere. It was on a good run. I don't know who left on the starting line reaction time, but I thought I was ahead, and then things just started going up. And
you know, all in all, between you and Dick LaHaye and Darrell Gwynn and Gary Ormsby, Top Fuel was a dogfight.
yeah, it's going to be that way all the rest of the year. You know, it's exciting racing. That's what's so good about it. If you win, it's good. But when you lose them when they're a heartbreaker like that, you know, we've been in the finals, I think, 6 out of 7 races this year, and we only won 1. So that's, you know, that's disheartening in that respect. But then we're still in the finals all the time, and that's what's good on the World Championship. And the TRW Keystone Special will be back.
And there's 7 more to go. Joe Amato, look for him in the winner's circle again before this year is out.